Hey guys, welcome to another edition of On the Beat. Back at 744 Ostrom with my fellow men's basketball beat writer Andrew John. I'm Brett LoGiurato, and we're here to break down Syracuse's trip to Georgetown, which comes your way Saturday. First thing we want to get right into is Rick Jackson's reemergence inside that has kind of fueled this three-game winning streak lately for SU. In the first game against Georgetown back on February 9th at the Carrier Dome, Rick Jackson had perhaps his worst game of the season. He had 4 points. But in this winning streak, this three-game winning streak, when SU's kind of turned things around, it's been Jackson. Jackson's been back to the MVP form that we've come to expect from him, and especially against Villanova on Monday night in his hometown of Philadelphia, he was that same Jackson. That being said, Georgetown had a lot of success double, triple teaming him. Andrew, what do you see out of him this weekend, and can he continue that dominance, or will Georgetown find a way to stop him again?
Well, I think he can continue it, and there's a couple of reasons why I think that he can, and what has been successful for Syracuse in this three-game winning streak. And number one is the shooters have been able to hit with some consistency, which is something they weren't able to do in that game. Obviously, the Georgetown defense was able to collapse on Jackson as a result. And the other thing is because of the emergence of C.J. Fair, I think it gives Jackson a viable low post guy who can get down there and he can score, pick up boards. So I think the odds of the Georgetown defense collapsing are a little bit lower because they know that they have to look out for C.J. Fair, who has played well as of late.
And the next thing we want to talk about is the injury situation this game. On both sides, I was at practice on Wednesday, and Dion Waiters is still obviously feeling the effects of that fall on Monday before he sank those two big free throws. He was walking gingerly on his left foot. He said he's going to take it day to day. But I guess on that note, in Georgetown's camp too, there's a probably even bigger injury in Chris Wright. And Andrew, just with the whole injury situation with Waiters and with Wright definitely out for the next couple of weeks for them and for this game, how do you see the injury situation affecting this game?
I think it changes things a lot, especially for Georgetown. Obviously, Chris Wright is their second leading scorer, and their point guard is a four-year guy, senior, who, he didn't have a great game. He only scored 6 points in the first matchup against Syracuse on February 9th, but he was a big part of getting into the teeth of the 2-3 zone and getting points there in the second half with his penetration. And so he'll definitely be missed for Georgetown's end. I think Dion Waiters, I think, if he's not able to be himself, then then they obviously have a short rotation with the guards, and that forces Scoop Jardine and Brandon Trish to go long stretches, which they've been able to do this season at times. But I think we've seen that when Dion Waiters plays and he plays well and he's able to play long stretches, that Syracuse typically has more success, and so that will obviously play, I think, a little bit of a factor as well.
Yep. We'll just get right into the predictions. Andrew, I guess Syracuse swept Georgetown last year in the regular season. Georgetown's taken the last two from the Big East tournament last year when Ernze and Olaku got injured, and obviously a couple weeks ago inside the Carrier Dome. How do you see this shaking out? Do you think Georgetown will return the favor and sweep SU this season?
Well, in Thursday's paper, I did say that I think Georgetown would win. That's because Georgetown has played so well. They've won 9 of their last 11 Big East games. But without Chris Wright, I think that is a major blow for the Hoyas, and I think Syracuse can take advantage. So, I'll say Syracuse wins 75-70.
I'm going to say Syracuse as well. I think they'll win 72-69. It'll be a close game, good game. I think Syracuse will pull it out at the end. I just think that, they're on this hot streak, and I think Rick Jackson will continue on his MVP-like form, and I think SU goes down to DC, pulls out a big road win, gets 2 big road wins, and they're kind of back on track for probably a 3 or 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. But that's all for now. Be sure to check back on Saturday during the game for all your live updates, live tweets, and after the game for on dailyorange.com for full coverage. And be sure to check back in Monday's paper for even more complete coverage from Georgetown. For Andrew, Brett, thanks guys.